My drive wasn't showing.
Okay.
Okay, but I'll tape you till Phil does. Okay. I'm terrible at this. Is it recording?
Yeah, so this is
All right.
RUC, right?
All right.
All right, get your drive sheets out, your drive sheets. Gotta look at this one today. They were talking about the fourth drive lesson in particular. Drive number 4, you see it? Flip the page if you don't see it. There it is, top, second side. What's it about? What's it say? What?
Turn it over.
Emergencies. Okay, what does that mean? Like what? Every moment's an emergency when we're no. It's after the freeway drive.
10.
What is an emergency? What? Everything?
Emergency is a heart attack.
And I'm pretty sure you're going to just fill it in. Oh, you did plus 10 already.
We're not talking.
You didn't have to start till tomorrow. You're here, just hang out.
Something goes wrong that normally should be normal. Right, good, okay.
I thought I wrote that on the sheet I gave your mom.
There are 3 kinds of things that could go wrong when driving. The car itself, right? The person,
The environment.
mechanical, the road, you mean? The environment, nice. Okay, environment. And somebody said it, the most common, other people, the driver. It could be you. Making the mistake, right? What's a common driver error? We had somebody at the curb today. You curving it? That's called this. On your test, you failed. You went right up and on the curb. Accident. That's what the state calls it. You do that, it's all over. Okay, that's a driver error. You just don't judge really well. Okay? What's another common error people make? Common error. Hitting people? It's not so common as you think. That would be bad. Going blind? Oh, okay. So not reacting to this. Say it again.
Yes. Ask her if it's okay if you stay and drive.
We're about to watch a video on speeding that rate.
Sue. But, we're going to have mostly video about all these emergencies. And most crashes occur because people are exceeding the speed limit. That's it exactly. Good, sir. Okay. What's another common error that people make? If it's not a curb, maybe they just drift their car where?
On the road.
Where? On the road? So they're always off the road and now they're getting back on. Yeah, they're drifting off the road. Experience that, right? On your drive lesson, we'll take you maybe to an open parking lot, an open road, and we'll grab the wheel and we'll pull you off the road. So we can, we want to do that so you can simulate getting back on. So what's that going to feel like when you drift off the road?
Sorry, Patty. He wanted to know something he could practice, and I needed to.
Well, more specific.
He wanted to know what he could practice.
Yeah,
and I was
it's
showing
kind
him.
of like that. Like that wheel does on the simulator when you go off road. But it really starts to.
No, I saw you there.
It really starts to go where? The car. It does. It takes
Well,
over and goes.
I tried
off.
holding this thing for 2 hours.
So it's tugging this way, which
So I knew
requires you
one-
to do what as a motorist?
I didn't want you to hold that.
What? Pull the other way. Okay, slightly. What do most people do though?
Straighten the wheel out.
Do they really?
Can you sign on
They go too sharp back the other way. What ends up happening to the vehicle when you do that? You're going to see an actual vehicle doing that. It's in a hot chase pursuit. And the motorist goes off-road and he panics and gets back on into the oncoming traffic because he overcorrected and then does what? To go back the other way, and then that's exactly what happens. At speeds above 40, 50 miles an hour, you take sharp angles like that, you will roll your vehicle.
So if a kid wanders in here,
You will roll
looking
your
for his drive,
vehicle and
it's
we'll
too
be
late.
able to test by looking at the vehicle. One roll for every 10 miles an hour above 40. that you're going. So if you're doing 70 miles an hour and you accidentally drift and then you try to recover and you roll, how many times are you going to go over, head over? 3 times. 3 times. Okay. Don't do that. People tend to do what in an emergency? Panic. So you want to remember that in any emergency you do what? Stay calm. Number 1. Number 2. We're going to say stay calm.
So hard.
Yes.
You're not like, okay, let's be out of control, breathe.
Why not? Why not? That's good. Get yourself in that habit of doing it. Remember, we're going to take you out on this drive and perform each one of these on the checklist. Each one. Because we want you to feel at low speeds in a low impact environment. What am I be like? The tire blowing out is like what? It's like what?
The pulse, yeah.
It's going to pull again, just like if you were going off-road. Maybe a little worse, because we won't have traction either, with one of the 4 tires. Okay? First thing you got to do in any emergency, this goes way back to your CPR or first aid training. What do you do? Any emergency. Much later. It's something about assessing, yeah, you did. Yeah, assess the situation. In other words, you are identifying. Remember the IPDE process we talked about all along? The IPDE process, IPDE, the SAFE method. You're always identifying. Identify the emergency. Okay, you got to know that you're having an emergency in order to react to it, right? What if you're going downhill and you go and step on the brake and something, well, the car doesn't slow down? You notice? Ways to say, whatever. Right? You better know. Maybe then you react to it. You have to know that an emergency is happening. How about you're like, you know, you're going uphill and the car's suddenly accelerating even while you're on the brake. What's happening? It's happened to you before. In the dead of winter. What's happening?
Uphill?
Yeah, you're even going uphill. And you're actually putting on the brake, but oh, it's speeding up. What's happening? No.
Stop.
What's the what? Say it. What's stuck? Yes, your gas pedal's stuck. Maybe you got lots of reasons. Prius had a whole problem with it so much that Toyota recalled all of the Priuses for what was it, 2009, 2010. They got stuck underneath the floor mat. And people died because they didn't know how to react to it. Gas pedal stuck, and you don't even know it. You gotta identify the emergency, react to it. What would you do if the gas pedal stuck?
Press the brake.
Press the
Drift into like a parking lot or something.
and speed up and crash into other things along the side.
It'll slow you down.
Slow you down. Actually, somebody said it.
Shift into neutral.
That's the next best thing.
Shift it into
That's what you
park.
told us to do.
First,
Shift it into park.
go to the source of the problem. Go to the source. So, what's the problem? The gas pedal. So you do what with your foot? Oh, you're gonna bend down. Rachel, or you're gonna fix it on your feet. You're gonna what? You said it earlier. How are you gonna unstick the pedal?
With your foot.
Yes, get your foot up underneath there, and so we'll simulate on the 4th drive. Go to the source of the problem, fix it if you can, but then do the next best thing. Next best thing would be what? Next best thing. If the gas pedal, you can't get it unstuck because it's really stuck underneath that floor mat, or maybe the throttle itself up in the engine compartment is stuck open, and you can't fix it. What's the next best thing? Just slow it down. You said it, huh? Into neutral. That's it. That's it. You guys get that? That's what's neutral all about? Neutral just means what?
Just sits there.
Nothing. Yeah, nada. Zip. It just sits there. In other words, you're taking power away from the engine's still got the power, but you're keeping the power there instead of transferring it out to the wheels using that transmission. That's it. So that's why I said just slap it right up into neutral. It's pretty simple. So we'll practice that on your fourth drive. We can't actually make the car go too fast unless we have the Taurus. And I sometimes get my foot over there, unbeknownst to you, and press on the gas pedal. It's easy to reach. Huh? Yeah, the big skid monster. Yeah. Just press on it, and you're wondering, what's happening? What's happening? And you got to react to it. Don't overreact. Just, if you have to, breathe slowly through the nose. Okay? How about the next one? What happens if you brake failure? You go to the brakes and now they don't work. What do you do? Okay, so now you know what? Brakes aren't working. Okay, so what do you do? Stay calm, and then what?
Go to the source.
So what does that mean in terms of the main brake? That's it. Say it. Bogdan, is that what
Just
you're
like
saying?
keep on pumping the brake.
Keep on pumping the brake. That's right. This is the only time we actually pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. What does it do?
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah. It builds up pressure, air in the line, building up pressure. Okay, and then maybe it'll work and slow it down. If it doesn't work completely, what's the next best thing? What? Yeah, right. E-brake. How are you going to apply the e-brake? Good. Dang good. Completely hard? Okay. Slow. How? Button? Or no button? No button? Now remember, it's emergency. If you lock the back tires, what's going to happen? Yeah, you go skidding. Okay, so maybe hold that button in at that point. Okay, and you might have to ease it back down. You all are going to stop a drive car using just the emergency brake on this lesson. Okay, you have to know how that works. And there's two kinds of e-brakes we have. There's another one besides this handbrake. Yeah, Amanda, you used it. It's it's the one that's easier for you. You just press on the pedal. It's the foot pedal to the far left. Now what? If you don't want it to lock up, what do you have to do? Is there a button? Is there a button? No, there isn't. So what do you have to do? Use the what? The lever. There's a lever that says brake release. And it's brake release lever. Hold on to that while you're what? You're still driving. Because you got to stop that car. You still got to avoid things. So you got your one right hand on the wheel. Your left hand's on the release. Your left foot is where? On the e-brake. And then your right foot is where? Also, still, it's a full body exercise, you guys. You have to stop that big black Taurus from hitting anything or going past the stop line using all your limbs.
Are we at like a parking lot where no cars are?
There might be some cars, but typically nobody's driving them. We'll go to some open parking lots. Okay? So everything, Skid Monster, next month.
I was going to talk to you about something else.
Okay, I'll be done in just a little bit. I'll get them on to something. Okay? Yeah, the test, the quiz, the 25 question quiz. Okay, next question. What's the next one down? What do we got? Hood flies out. We're driving along when we do that to you.
Get the
What are you gonna do?
open space under the hood.
That's what I was going to
Open
say.
space under the hood. Yeah, that gap, right? Look at this. Door's opening. The hood's opening. And there's a gap right there where the hinges are. So how do you drive?
Get low.
Yeah, you gotta get low and then do what? Pull over. Yeah. Better pull over and come to a stop. Go on. Most people do what when that happens? I've seen it.
Stick your head out the window.
No, they kind of react how
Brake.
they slam on the brakes. Where is this kind of experience going to happen for you? On the freeway, really fast speeds. And so people panic, and then what? They slam on their brakes, and now what? They're causing more of a crash behind them. And people are overreacting there too. So you got to resist that. Resist that urge to just slam on the brakes. Bogdan,
Would there ever be like a situation where you have to drift?
where you have to do It's only Bogdan that ever asks that kind of question. No, not really. If you accidentally do, then you should do what? we're talking about really skidding, okay? Do you want to skid? Skidding is a sign of what? Yeah, loss of control with the road. You and the road, not evenly on it. Bad traction. So, what are you supposed to do in a skid? This is a human error. Imagine you're going into a skid and the back end is going right and you don't want it to. How?
Turn right. Turn left.
Turn right. The back end's going right.
Yeah, you
Turn into it. Like that. Just think of three things whenever you experience something like that. Eyes, hands, feet. What are you going to do? We talked about it last week. Eyes go where? Where you want to go. Do you look at what you don't want to hit? Don't look at what you don't want to hit because you'll end up hitting that. Hands go where?
Where you want to turn.
Yeah, nice.
And feet.
And feet? Feet where?
Feet on what you want to do. That's great.
Which one? It depends on the kind of drivetrain, remember? Front wheel drive car? What do you do?
You can turn the gas.
Yeah, just a little gas maybe, that helps. Basically, remember this, you know, it starts to slide like that, your back end is going too fast for the front end, right? And if it's front wheel drive, step on it, and then you get it straight again. Okay? If it's the Mustang out there, you start sliding like that, you want to do what? Probably brake. Yeah, just slightly. If you overreact, what's going to happen? Spinning, or maybe what kind of car? Remember, you guys, the braking system on it? If you took a car, left the drive button in it, it's what? It might slide because you might lock the wheels on that one. Okay? And that's one thing we'll do too. We'll get you up to speed in this parking lot I mentioned. Get up to 20, get up to 20, get up to 25, 30, come on. And then slam on your brakes. Stop here, suddenly. We'll just yell at you. And we want you to do what? Go quickly to the brake and do we want to slam on them? This Mustang out here? No, what's going to happen? You go sliding. Can you steer out of a slide like that when you lock your wheels? You won't be able to steer. Good. All right. It's fun. It's fun. You got to use what braking then? What kind of braking? What? Not tap tap. Because that might not be efficient enough. Remember, it starts with the T, ends with a threshold braking. Okay, you got to practice that. What happens? Oh, this is a good one. Headlights go out on you. What are you supposed to do? First, notice that they go out. Yeah. A lot of people do this at night accidentally. They leave the gas station and what? They leave their lights off. Yeah, it's so bright out there with the street lights and they think it's okay. And oh, they can see their parking lights are on, and so their dash lights are on. They don't realize they have no headlights in front of them. So a common mistake. But if you're out there and imagine a dark country road, all right, and no one's around, and suddenly lights go on. What do you do first? I've had it happen. What do you do? Identify. Don't get scared by it. Stay calm. What else? Very next thing. How are you going to fix it? Simplest fix. It's in the book. Try to turn them off. Maybe that's all you did. You accidentally turned them off. Or if you have an old car and all this pulling on the button, you know, like in the Mustangs, okay, after so long it just comes disconnected. Maybe you just flick it a little bit and it comes back on. And that's all you've got to do. But if that doesn't work, the headlights, in other words, what do you do next? Emergency lights work? Okay. Those are better than just turn signal switches. You guys know where this symbol is in your car?
Yes.
Good. Better know where it's at. How about in the Mustang? Do you know where it's at? It's harder to find. Where is it? You still remember?
I don't have a Mustang at home.
Where's it at? It's up on top of the column. You might not be able to see it. But you got to get to it quick. Even better than these lights is something else. High beams. No question. Who said it? A veteran student. No, Bogdan, you don't get credit for it. Okay.
Oh, come on.
High beams. High beams. The ones that go like that. The little blue light that shows up. Why go there? It blinds other people. No, you need to see. They are bright. Can you turn them on even if your low beams aren't working? Yes, that's right. Why? They are. They're two different switches, two different filaments, or two different bulbs. So just use it. How do you turn them on? You guys know?
Well, on the black car, it was like, or whatever the color that you have, like the
Where?
switch, it goes to,
You have the switch. You mean up on the dash?
yeah.
That's just the low beam light switch. Every car has them where?
It's on the bleachers.
On the turn signal switch, okay? They're always there.
That on the,
And this one you push forward, typically. Who drove the little Lancer with me over the weekend? Remember that one?
yes.
Where was the high beam on that? Yeah, click it back. Click it. Like that. It's always going to be there. One of the two. Unless you have a really old truck. I've got one, and the high beam switch is where? On the floor.
Yep.
On the floor. You might think it's like the parking brake. It's not. It's just the high beam switch. And you just press on it with your foot. Turns it on. That's your next best thing. Low beams first, high beams next, hazards, keep working your way. And try to get where? Huh? The side of the road, yeah, so you can really fix it. Okay, good. How about, talked about off-road recovery, skid, tire blowout. Now here's some really amazing driver errors. We're going to do this. We're going to pretend like people are coming head on at us, or you're playing chicken, or they're backing out in front of you, or something like that. How do you avoid a hazard like that? You might have one of three things always, huh? Identify the problem, and then do what to avoid it? Maybe turn.
Honks,
Honk. That's a good one. That's a good one. It's a good defensive maneuver.
lightly brake.
Hopefully they got good hearing. Maybe lightly brake. Exactly. So you have the gas pedal, that's the control. You have a brake pedal, of course, and you've got steering, or a combination of any of them. And that's what we're going to have you do. We're going to yell it to head-on collision. Where are you going to go? You're going to go. Where are you going to go? Where do you want to go? Left?
Right.
Right? Okay, why right?
Because the other car goes right.
Yeah, you got to worry that the people in front of you may recover also and go back to your left. Okay? Because more than likely they're right-handed drivers like you. Remember, you see somebody head on, you got to do this with them. Get out of their way. Semi-tractor trailer head on, where are you going? That way. Get out of the way fast. What if it's a ditch? It's better to go in the ditch than go head on with the semi. That'll kill you. You may roll it, so be prepared. What?
Oh, they go
How you gonna make that happen? Get in the ditch. What if the car now is coming from the right, coming into your path? This way. You might have to go left, you're right. But then you better be prepared to do what? Get back into your lane. Now here's how we do that maneuver. And this is why I say 9 and 3 is better than 8 and 4. Or 10 and 2. Tell your parents. Can you turn sharply?
If you let go with one hand,
You can. Now what?
now
You only have one hand.
Are you back in your lane? No, you just straightened out.
you can move your hands. You don't have to keep them in the same place. You know what I'm saying? From here, you can
Well, now you're saying hand over hand, but then it's really cumbersome trying to get back. Watch race car drivers. At 180 miles an hour, where are their hands? They're here. And they're up on the wheel like this. Nice and tight, grip, okay? What do? Well, they don't typically, but we'll do it at slow speeds. Sharp left like this, so you make contact. Now you're in the oncoming lane. And then do what? All the way back, 360, so you're back in your lane. And then what? Straighten out. Good. Sharp left, back to the right, straighten out. While doing what with your foot?
Brake.
Gas. See? No brake on this one, even though your instinct is going to want to be to step on the brake, just as if the hook flew up on you. You'll panic a little. But we're only doing it at 10, 15 miles an hour to begin with, and then working you up, 10, 20, Okay? The fastest I've done it at is 60 miles an hour on a freeway. I did it with an instructor wannabe. She never returned. After that, it was just, you know, putting out a fleece, making sure that I had the right kind of person. I did this real quick, from one lane into the next. Freaked her out so much. But you got to be prepared for things like that, because it happens with certain beginning students that are older. Okay, what we're going to do is take a test that covers most of these emergencies. Ones that we haven't even talked about, ones that hopefully you never encounter, like a car fire, like a pile-up, like a, how about, I think the worst is this. Your car goes into a body of water, submerges. How are you going to escape from something like that? Your electrical windows just shorted out, now they won't roll.
You break the window.
How do you break it? You're weak and only 110 pounds and you become the man of steel or woman of steel demo. What do you do?
Pick it with your feet.
That's a good one.
Or you get your crowbar.
Oh, where is it? In the trunk? As the car is going where? How's your car going to sink?
Engine first.
That's right. This is the scariest one. We'll talk about it a little bit. Okay, you got your